Space Station having an incredible day yesterday. Always exciting to watch these guys play. StelluR in particular looked like he was on another level, just hitting every single shot. Of course, a lot of great matches coming up after that. We've got potential Optic versus FaZe matchups if these teams win.
That's the big one.
Right, so definitely an exciting day. Today is the last day. Grand Finals will be today as well. And like we said, this is SSG versus French Toast, game number 1. We're looking at a Streets oddball.
I sure as heck did tweet that Status Quo is playing in this series, but we'll have French Toast. They're just as capable of creating this upset. Streets oddball is the name of the game for game 1 of the series. And in all honesty, I feel like this oddball kicking off the day is a phenomenal thing for SSG to weather any kind of a storm, any early blows that they kind of take. Maybe being less warmed up isn't a problem because oddballs are typically 30-minute long games, right? They are specifically going to go the distance here, and it gives you an opportunity to find your footing in the series. If I'm an underdog trying to create an upset, the last thing I want to see is game 1 is an oddball. Yeah, that's a really good point too, Wes. The oddball game are, oddball games are significantly longer than pretty much every other game type out there, right? You're going to have 3 potential rounds, both going the distance with time, and of course score as well when time freezes. So these are the games that you really get warmed up. These are the games you basically go like almost 30 minutes. On board with StelluR early on, Bulldog shotgun in hand. They end up giving up the rockets. It's a trade, and it looks like it's suppressed. That's the only player that's alive. However, StelluR got away with the ball in the meantime. So 1 rocket to play around. You got to break the setup, but already Space Station starting to acquire some points and putting the pressure on French Toast. Oh,
you can see that rocket does not connect, and that was the last rocket in the chamber. They push immediately up with the Stalker. Ooh. Nice shots here by Suppress. He should get cleaned up, but doing a little nice finessing here, buying time, trying to wait for his teammates to roll in. 3 go down for SSG. Penguin's last guy alive. You can see him moving across the map bottom center here, trying to get some favorable teammates for his spawns, or favorable spawns for his teammates here. And you can see that coming off Red Room, collapses are coming in, and they do work out a few trades.
So far, great job by French Toast to keep up with the Slays, but I mean, Eco with 5 already. That's impressive. Suppress finding 1, Rammyy finding 1. Trades across the board. Something you want to see from French Toast early on is how competitive are they going to be in this series. So early on, I think they passed the first test, I would say. No significant time in either side, but I mean, all you need to do is give Space Station 1 opportunity at a 4th down, and momentarily they're about to have that if they take down Monster. There it is, and a full setup over towards Tower for Space Station will be the first real challenge for French Toast here in this series.
Oh, absolutely amazing break. They go, what, 4 for 0 on that break? Secure ball and racking up time already. They've got players coming off spawn. All of French Toast trapped in C here, trying to push out through driveway. But you can see that just lots of angles down, doing a great job, using audio cues to his advantage. Isn't able to get the kill. That Stalker rifle, of course, being just so powerful. Almost need help to take out a player in those scenarios. But StelluR, he has the rockets. Grabs 1. Eco does get taken out by that Stalker, but it's no match for the Bulldog in that up-close range. And sure enough, 3 down once again for French Toast.
I'm actually super surprised that Space Station were able to get away with the rockets right there, and it really made the difference in this entire setup so far. The points are starting to climb up, but I mean, we saw it on screens. MoNsTcR was able to get the first pick on the push. You think that that means they're going to be able to use that numbers advantage to get rockets. Somehow, some way, StelluR gets out of there, turns those rockets into a couple of kills, and now look at this. It's transitioned into an early lead for Space Station, up 40 points. Finally, French Toast break the setup, but they don't have those power weapons to play around, so you have to think that it's not going to last as long as the Space Station setup did earlier.
You can see nice shots by StelluR. He does pick up 2 players. He's got this Sentinel beam. Does get taken out by Suppress. Penguin doing what he can from up in the heaven position. There are 3 players from French Toast, though, here over by Cafe. This is going to be a hard angle for SSG to push. You can see that ball rotations coming in as well. They're just trying to cut off certain angles, prevent anyone from SSG getting bottom center. That first pick, though, that is what you're looking for when you're breaking one of these setups. Get a kill, preferably away from ball, so that you don't have to worry about anyone shooting in the back as you work on collapsing and preventing them from getting additional ball time.
Yeah, I think SSG is one of the best teams in the world when we're talking about getting a numbers advantage, that first pick, and then turning that into a 4-down situation. That's what you're looking for here. StelluR gets that kill over towards shotgun. The ball's going to be neutralized over by that shotgun as well, but with rockets coming up, I'd be really surprised if this ball stays on the move. Pznguin is going to opt to try and get some early seconds here, but that could be where Space Station made a mistake, because these kills coming through as rockets are coming up gives French Toast an opportunity to not only get the ball, but to get rockets and pair it to catch back up with this game.
It looks like MoNsTcR does get away with those rockets. Uses one, it does connect a little bit, but not enough to get the kill, and then that is the second rocket being used as well. Nice trade, though, from MoNsTcR. He does prevent pushes for a while. He gets, I think, 2 kills there, one with being a trade onto StelluR, so great job by MoNsTcR, actually trying to hold off some of this aggression.
Good job by MoNsTcR, but Suppress just gives another life away right there. So he kind of flips that numbers situation right back. But in the meantime, they've been able to catch up in the scoreboard. The important piece to the puzzle here, the ball being in Tram, held by French Toast, has got them right back in this game. Good teamwork there to get a couple of slays. I love that they dropped the ball to help Gilkey there. That was a phenomenal job of realizing that we're not going to be able to hold this setup without a 4th gun.
100% here. You can see 2 down for SSG. They still have the ball. The rest of SSG members aren't in great position to stay alive here and wait for reinforcements, so they'll continue to drop. You can see Eco and Bound pushing off the bottom center. The spawns for SSG coming over through Cafe, and with another great kill here for Suppress with that grenade. It's going to open the map up, let them take the lead, and start a little bit of a ball rotation.
A great rotation, and he chows Bound right there. That could have been a massive opportunity to stay alive and get that kill. Trades across the board right now for both. It's a 2v2 situation. The ball is stuck top rail, and it does benefit Space Station for now, but I mean, Rammyy trying to make a play finds himself in a 2v2. Suppress trades it out efficiently, and that is a once again French Toast winning a situation that was about a 50-50. Something Space Station probably didn't think was going to be happening, was losing some 50-50s in this series.
Yeah, you can see though, Bound, he cleans up 2 kills, stays alive. That thrust paying dividends here for the squad. Pznguin and Bound on the hunt, trying to finish off French Toast here, trying to finesse around music best he can, but does ultimately get taken out, and that is right. Those rockets are coming up here too.
Yeah, these rockets are so important towards this end game. There's a minute left. The game's nearly tied. 6 seconds separate the two. But who's going to get these rockets? 3 go down for French Toast. Space Station, of course they do. They clutch up, they get the rockets, and they be aggressive with them. Pznguin in the kill feed finds one, but he's just creating space, an opportunity to regain the lead, and more importantly, get a setup here in the late game for Space Station.
I really like this play. So Pznguin does pick up that kill onto Rammyy and C. That opens up C. They recognize the spawns aren't going to be here, and they try to rotate ball into C. Some great grenades by Gilkey, though. They are not able to use that shotgun to prevent this push here, and they do end up taking out the ball carrier. We're back in a 2v2 scenario. They should know where both players are. There's C steps here.
Oh.
Nice shots by StelluR. The push is coming, but great defense here. Solid nades. Gilkey, rather than fighting and trying to finish off the one shot, decides to get ball out, try to keep it out of SSG's hands. We're looking at a 6-point game right now. Stalker Rifle is not in their hands. It's over here by Cafe, being a complete nuisance, but he does go down. That's a 4v2 scenario. We should be seeing a lead change here, and only 30 seconds left to play.
And that kill on the StelluR in front of the tower was massive, right? It was something you had to get if you wanted to win this game. Unfortunately, somehow you can't finish the headshot. StelluR stays alive. It makes this push even stronger. Because of it, Space Station had this lead. 26 seconds and counting. The ball is neutralized, and French Toast are going to opt to pick this one up in a 3v3 situation. You'd think Space Station wouldn't let that happen, but in the meantime, French Toast have played some efficient objective right there. They were able to rotate it out. They still hold on to it to regain the lead, and with 20 seconds left, Space Station Gaming has 1 card to play, and that's go.
Yeah, you can see though, 4 go down. Not a lot of time left on the clock. It looked like SSG, they should be playing to take the lead here. Decide, are they going to go for the full 100 seconds, or are they going to drop ball and play time? But it looks like they're going for the full 100 seconds.
They dropped the ball. 10 seconds left. They need to get a set of slays. The next set of slays will almost guarantee who's going to win this game. The ball has to get picked up. 6 seconds left, and somehow, some way, Gilkey stays alive behind the pillar. 6 seconds still frozen on the clock. The game is now tied. The ball gets dropped, but Space Station get the kills. 2 more members of French Toast to try and deal with, but they drop the ball. They can't get there, and somehow Space Station do just enough to get us a round 1 win.
Oh my gosh, Wes, it's almost too early for rounds like this.
Yeah,
that was as tight as it gets coming into the end of the game. Amazing plays by both squads back and forth, extending the game, constant lead changes with only 30 seconds left in the game. That was neck and neck.
Unbelievable finish right there. And of course, Space Station, they don't let that one slip out of their hands. Those are the important rounds you cannot afford to give up if you're French Toast trying to create the upset. We'll figure out how the rest of this game is going to go as it's underway. French Toast start off round 2 phenomenally. 3 down. You got to think they have rockets. They have the Bulldog, but more importantly, ball in the back of Tram right here is going to award them at least a 20-point lead for now.
So you can see definitely a great start for French Toast. French Toast looking like the squad that may have beat Optic yesterday. Gilkey with phenomenal shots. You can tell he's not afraid. Gilkey, he is looking to make waves here in year 2.
Yeah, Gilkey is one of those players that probably really feels like he really underperformed in the first year of the HCS season for Halo Infinite. Somebody that really holds himself to a high standard, and when he plays on fire, he can be the best player in any lobby, I truly believe. We didn't see it too much last year. We'll see if Gilkey has put himself together a roster that can potentially change that story.
How does StelluR stay alive there? That was a great play by him. Sentinel Beam coming out with the win in the trade, but a couple of trades come in here from French Toast as well. It's 3 dead. Last player alive was Bound. Does pick up the kill onto Suppress, but gets taken out, and that's going to be another chunk of time here for French Toast.
Yeah, great job holding the setup. They're going to opt to throw the ball out, and I'm going to assume that somebody's having technical difficulties because that was not a normal play by Rammyy. Unfortunately, as we get whatever the issue is figured out, the game has come to a stalemate. Nobody really playing, and yeah, that's what I feared. Somebody had to have crashed, lagged out, whatever it may be. We'll figure out what the score is. The differential, of course, will be,
you know, with the exception of Optic winning, you know, Halo World Championships, which is a feat in and of itself and the title that you really want to hold. Everything else was all these guys here setting the standard and what it takes to be a championship caliber roster here. So going into the round 2, we are underway. Keep in mind, French Toast needs 85, SSG the full 100 points here in round number 2.
Looks like French Toast, 3 players top rail. They've been dealt with for the most part, but Suppress is going to take down Bound, keep his life. In the meantime, rockets are in the hands of Gilkey, and Gilkey blows himself up. Doesn't even take down Eco in the process. That's allowed Space Station some early time. Yeah,
a little bit of a, I don't know, reverse ninja suicide. Definitely a little interesting play. Eco going rather than over top, takes the underneath route, and it pays off for him big time.
Only Gilkey could pull that one off. I hadn't heard of that move yet, but as in the meantime, we do have StelluR, Bulldog shotgun in hand. He finds himself a kill. That's a couple going down once again for French Toast, and it is going to be Space Station once again with the ball.
Yeah, and the shotgun's already doing really well for them. A little bit of a scary moment, but Eco uses Monster's own grenade against him to finish off that kill. It does get taken out, but that is 3 dead.
That was the same story with the rocket launcher earlier. The reverse ninja make you use yourself for your own weapon.
Stop hitting yourself.
To blow yourself up. Yeah, so far, nothing going right for French Toast right now. They've killed themselves almost as many times as Space Station have taken them down. But, I mean, this lead's starting to grow. Those deaths starting to really count in the score line, 25-0 right now. Space Station leads, and if you remember, that's just about the entire, they will have a 10-point lead now in this round because the 15 points that French Toast had from the replay.
There you can see they got 2 players over here, the last 2 alive. You've got French Toast wisely goes for a play ball. I really like this out of them. They do get taken out, but they're buying as much time for their teammates to come off of spawn. You got rockets coming up in 5 seconds. Definitely want to see SSG put focus on that here. See Bound, he's trying to move the ball and keep it alive. Penguin moving around, trying to finesse as hard as he can. He's got players trying to track him down. Bound grabs himself a kill with that stalker, gets some damage onto the second player. 3 dead, and these should be free rockets now for SSG.
Yeah, Eco with 7 kills once again, starting round 2 off just as hot as he started round 1 off. That, having a player that starts rounds off so positively is a massive opportunity to get the ball rolling in your favor. So Eco giving SSG every bit of life early in both of these rounds so far, and that's why they have this significant lead.
Yeah, you can see Penguin here. He's hitting with the rockets. He'll be able to put that one to use. Grabs himself 1 kill. 2 more players over towards Cafe. Not able to stay alive, but that's going to create or give StelluR the indication, hey, I need to start moving this ball. We're getting overwhelmed and lost control P-side. And sure enough, as you see him, throws that ball off, or throws that ball out and just looking to stay alive.
Suppress trying to find someone, uses the red gun successfully. Nice 2-tap, pull out the BR, a couple of good kills, but more importantly, you get the ball, you get it to Trash, safely transfer that into Tram and Bound. He was the last guy alive. They're trying to hunt him down. They eventually do get that player taken down, and with that, you're going to stagger the respawns for Space Station because everyone else just came off respawn. This is going to be a difficult time to push if you're Space Station Gaming.
Yeah, you can see StelluR. Great teamwork here by SSG. Takes out Rammyy, who was hiding in Red Room. And now with 2 players dead, French Toast elects to just play the ball once again. Now they have a player that's Gilkey with the shotgun, being an absolute nuisance here bottom center. But Eco does pick up that kill here. Player right above him with the stalker somehow doesn't finish off the kill, but leaves him for his teammate, starts escaping. There'll be another 1v1 fight. That turns into a trade. That's 1 alive for SSG, 3 up for French Toast. They're going to try to move this ball. Great nade shot there. Almost secures himself a double kill, but unfortunately, both those players are going to escape.
Yeah, very fortunate for French Toast that they were able to get out of that situation, not losing anyone, because that would make this push for SSG coming off respawn so much easier to try and break this setup. But in the meantime, Rockets were the name of the game momentarily. It looks like French Toast won the battle for the Rockets. I believe they're out. With kills going in their favor again, they're going to be able to retake this lead here because they do have 15 additional points to add to the score going with this 50 point the 50 that they've accumulated, and because of that, they now have the lead.
Oh, and these Rockets are really hurting SSG right now. Suppress able to grab 2 of them the whole time they have the ball. They put all 4 members, or at least 3 members down of SSG, preventing any kind of push twice in a row. Keep in mind, like we said, 85 here for French Toast, so they are leading the game significantly here, as SSG still needs 39 points to win this round.
SSG's got to go right now. They need 15 points. You have 1 life left, and unfortunately, Pznguin finds himself by himself, but the time is ticking. He knows he's got to go. The brute grenades are going to be a massive help, so convenient that they're on respawn, trying to hunt down Monster. He gets a nade under the ball carrier, but 2 points is all French Toast need to take this to a 2nd and 3rd round. Right now, they're able to get those points. That's going to do it. We're going to find ourselves in a round 3 here in game 1. French Toast clutch up. And unfortunately for SSG fans, they don't get the slays there on the final push. And because of it, it really played Pznguin's hand. He was by himself. You're not going to be able to make a play in a 1v3, no matter how good of brute grenades you throw. And that's going to transfer us back to momentum going into French Toast's hands.
Yeah, you can see now we're getting into round number 3 here. Keep in mind now it's 1-1. Winner of this round does take game number 1 here. Rocket's power weapon is going to be a huge influence. All of SSG kind of moving around together towards the center of the map, and they put 3 dead for French Toast. This is a golden opening that you're hoping to see. Eco secured themselves those Rockets, grabbed himself another kill. This is going to be what you want to see here for SSG.
Yeah, once again, Eco starting the round off hot. He gives SSG every bit of life, and with that, the early lead goes in their favor as well.
You can see this is a nice push coming from French Toast. They kind of baited the B-side push and rotate around to bottom center. You have a few players waiting, but great teamwork, great double teams coming in. And that's going to be a few kills going over to French Toast's favor, but Bound, wow, great shots. Takes out the shotgun player, secures himself a double kill, but it's just not enough to prevent French Toast from escaping with the ball.
Yeah, but it does make this setup so much weaker, right? It does eliminate 1 more person that Space Station are going to have to deal with momentarily on this push. Unfortunately for SSG, though, French Toast do a phenomenal job of recognizing the situation where SSG spawned, and they rotate the ball accordingly.
Yeah, you can see that player still Gilkey in the red room. Does get taken out. Great double team here. 2 dead for French Toast. Last 2 players kind of playing together here. And see, they've got to spot him out. That stalker being such a pain. But finally, changes hands. 3 dead momentarily. And they do spot out Rammyy, who was trying to buy time for the squad here. So as he gets taken out, it's going to be ball back over to SSG. 1 down. Eco grabs himself yet another kill. And this is going to be a solid chunk of time once again. New Rockets in 15 seconds. You're going to have to see both teams set up contestants.
StelluR thrust shotgun right at Rammyy right there. No chance for Rammyy to come off respawn and make any impact for these Rockets. Somehow, some way, Suppress has gotten behind enemy lines. He's been able to find the red gun in his hand, put it to use. But in the meantime, middle of the map is where the focus shifts. As Rockets are up, the first is good. The second, nobody home. The ball carrier does get away with his life. And SSG SSG would have liked to have a little bit more production out of those rockets, but unfortunately Pznguin just under too much fire once he picked him up bottom middle. You got to figure out a way to keep that guy alive a little bit stronger in order to impact the outcome of the game.
It looks like we got 3 dead here for French Toast. The player trying to rotate ball, just keep those SSG from getting set up in C with that ball. He does a really good job staying alive. I think Thrust was even up there as well. SSG not able to prevent that rotation, and this is going to be big for French Toast. 2v2 scenario. Pznguin, he's trapped in red room, doing everything he can to try to stay alive, and sure enough, both players elect to just kind of back down and reset.
Yeah, and look where the ball is. Somehow, some way, without even getting a kill, Space Station was able to go out into the middle where MoNsTcR threw that ball, bring it back up to Brute grenade stairs. Sorry, tongue twister. And get it to a safe spot. Bound drops the ball, finds himself a kill, finds himself a double, picks the ball back up, doing it all right now. Bound showing you exactly when and where to drop that odd ball to efficiently help your team, and because of it, Space Station continue to build this lead.
Yeah, round 3 looking really solid here for SSG. They're in C. They've got stock rifles still. Getting eyes on this push, but some fantastic grenades come in from MoNsTcR. They do secure themselves 1 kill. Pznguin tries to do what he can to stay alive, but the collapse is too quick. And now that is a little bit unfortunate here for SSG. They ended up losing both weapons and weren't able to get the ball out of C.
Right, they have a comfortable lead right now, but this could get tricky with rockets coming up in 15 seconds. Bounce behind enemy lines. Somehow does the commando jump unseen. With that, Rammyy didn't expect him to be here. That's an immediate kill. He's able to thrust forward, but Gilkey with the perfect brute grenade there finds himself a triple as rockets come up. Ball in the hand of French Toast. This is the moment this game will be decided as these rockets get put to use.
Gilkey, he's just having his way, running around. They're trying to track him down, but not able to find him fast enough. He gets a triple kill plus 2 additional kills with the rockets and a shotgun. Great plays by Gilkey.
The Dudster taking over right now. Players top rail. These kills are so crucial to coming back in this game. Look at how the deficit is shrunk. 47 and climbing are the points of French Toast right now. 3 go down once again for Space Station, and all of a sudden Space Station fans feel a little bit uneasy about this game 1 because it's all tied up and you got to find a way to break this setup quickly.
All right, nice bound, gets a pick. They're trying to get eyes on where the players are, trying to push together here. They get call outs on the players' rails. They know Balls obviously was on balcony, just played that. But staying alive with that stalker rifle is so important here. It's something French Toast has been doing so well all game.
Read that again, make it 4. StelluR coming off respawn. Ball maybe not in the best spot, but more importantly, it's in the hands of French Toast. They've taken the lead. They've kept this setup for 4 spawn rotations of Space Station. Space Station has failed to break this setup ever since that moment where rockets and the Gilk duds popped off. But right now, this is their best chance. They get that first pick. They have map control, it looks. They're going to try to apply pressure to this ball carrier. They're going to go through the front door. It's StelluR and Eco with the 2v1. They're going to make that a couple of kills of their own. They've taken control of Tram, but they still have a couple of players to deal with outside.
You can see this player sneaks into C. He has the spike nades as well. Eco doing what he can, tries to pick up this kill. Great job. Eco is just over and under French Toast left and right. They just cannot block him down.
Yeah, very difficult. As difficult of a kill as Eco is, he's even more difficult when he's hitting movement like that. Eco's still behind enemy lines. Yes, somebody just ran away with rocks. Space Station look like they've done a good job to take that rocket player down. Need to get that ball in the hand. The rockets are going to be used though. And as Gilkey is the last player alive, taking a look at the score, Kyle, they're going to have one last push on the side of French Toast to see if they can steal game 1.
And they're going to use that shotgun to the best of their ability as well. Pznguin needs to get a trade here. That would be huge. Down picks up the kill. With only a few seconds left. Looks like they dropped the ball, and they're not going to be able to grab that here. Now, SSG with only 1 opportunity to push out as well. And I think they lost Stalker. They got Sentinel be watching C-Steps. This is going to hurt if StelluR's not able to catch him off guard. Sure enough, it melts him, and I don't think SSG can stop this.
Now, this is game, point, and match 100 go to French Toast, and they steal game 1 on the oddball. And as we feared, if Space Station doesn't come out swinging, French Toast is a live dog in the series. You got 2 Slayers ahead of you in this best of 5. You have just taken game 1, and now all of a sudden we're going to see how resilient SSG wants to be today.
Yeah, and that's a long warm-up game like we discussed as well. Went all 3 rounds. There's even a little bit of a replay involved in that. Lots of power weapons to be used. I think going into the game number 2, what you see from French Toast is that they are really, really good. All 4 of these players really, really solid at locking down and controlling those power weapons. Gilkey with that shotgun, I think it was instrumental in breaking that final setup. Getting that kill on B rails allowed them to push into the map and kind of trapped SSG back in that commando and trash area in the C here. So that was a huge Gilkey being the last guy alive, pulling back with shotgun, and then actually picking up the first frag on that push is what really won them that round.
Yeah, if they don't get those kills, the game's over right then and there. You don't have an opportunity to come off respawn and have another push. So they clutched up. They had that one moment where you say, if we can get 1 round of slays, we can win this game. We can steal this game. That's what it's all about as an underdog, right, Kyle? Like when you're trying to create an upset like this, you're just asking for the game to be close enough at the end to where somebody can make a play and we can capitalize on. You don't like you're focused on keeping the game close. They did such a perfect job of that throughout the entire game. And if we want to talk about round 3 specifically, I think you're on the money with Gilk and how impressive he looked, how heavily he influenced the outcome of that 3rd round. That set of rockets where he ended up getting a triple as they're coming up. He turns the rockets into a double, somehow finds himself with a bulldog, gets another kill before getting taken down. All of that means to the viewer, in the meantime, when Gilk's popping off, every second that's happening, those are points going in their favor. So they're able to capitalize perfectly off Gilk's ability to take over the game there. And because Gilk gave those points to his team, they were able to steal game 1. And now Empyrean Slayer is a scary game type, I would say, for SSG fans to see here, because this is new and we've seen Gilk dominate on the pit before. I wouldn't be shocked if this game was close as well.
Oh, 100%. This is one where whoever controls power weapons once again is going to come away and essentially dominate the games. If they're able to get weapons, still play aggressive, and take the battle to the enemy team's base and play there more than half the game, that's where you see big leads built and great plays overall. Gilkey, what a sniper, actually picks up the kill onto StelluR, and that is going to leave OS up. Both snipers also down here. Will anyone be able to take that down? Bound, however, got the rockets. Then he's going to help Pznguin secure the overshield, and they might be able to walk away with both snipes.
Yeah, there's a lot of power in the hands of SSG right now. Can they put it to use? There's a player in the training. Bound makes slight work of him. Pznguin finds a kill in the kill feed, and this is where the snowball can happen on Empyrean Slayer, right? You get control of the enemy courtyard, you get rockets, snipes, and how our French is going to deal with it. 4 go down, and all of a sudden this game's starting to get ugly. 10-2.
10-2, and they're all spawning in courtyard. You hate to be those guys when you're coming off spawn in courtyard and you know there's an overshield player and a guy with rockets in your base. That is just a terrible feeling.
Yeah, you got to figure out an efficient way, and unfortunately it doesn't look like French Toast have been able to do that. Now 14-3. This is starting to really get impressed on the side of SSG. You know, these guys had some Halo 3 experience back when MCC was being played around, so they played a couple of pits themselves. Whether or not they prefer it over some of the other game types, I think is yet to be determined, but so far so good. They'll take this lead right now. And I like this play from StelluR. He immediately recognizes he loses a couple of players at the enemy base. I'm not going to give my life as well. We've built this comfortable lead. Let's keep it. He backs up with the snipe.
Yeah, now all SSG needs to do for the rest of the game, trade out kills. If you're ever able to build a huge lead like this, you can completely switch up the play style. The only thing you don't want to do is just lose all of the weapons and give them an opportunity to do the same thing that you just did to them. Now, those new snipers and overshield are about to spawn. I really like this out of French Toast. They've already pushed up 2 players to the enemy team snipe tower. Suppressed is low. He gets taken out. They aren't able to pick up a trade quite yet. If they're able to finish off this heat wave and prevent overshield player from really being a nuisance in their base. Oh, ooh, that one hurts. Great play by Rammyy. The double heat wave shot to take out Eco and stay alive.
Yeah, the 2-tap is powerful with this one. Rammyy, with that kill, gets control of the enemy base. You're seeing Space Station try to overextend through camo. That's typically the correct play. We'll see French Toast are ready for a couple of players behind them now. They're getting kills, and this is limiting the amount of pressure that Rammyy is going to have, the amount of support that he's going to have here. They do continue to try and push him back tower. That's a mistake. They get the kills on their side of the map as well, and this is where French Toast can come back in this game. Looking at the score, 22-19. So the second French Toast get the level of power we saw Space Station get it at the early game, they're able to replicate that exact push, and now we have ourselves a highly contested game going into the mid game.
Yeah, you can see Bound does pick up a trade there. They have a sniper French Toast here pushing through long haul, and they've also got rockets. That enormous lead that was built right off the start with all of the weapons completely erased when the weapons essentially change hands. You can see just how powerful it is to play the Slayer game from your enemy team's base with the spawns. No one's going to spawn out or spawn across the map, so you're able to get these huge leads.
Questionable rocket there. MoNsTcR thought it would get the kill, but ends up just getting him to no shield. A nice job there. Pznguin still no shield, so if he could finish him off, that would have been impressive, but unfortunately, MoNsTcR under a lot of pressure right now. Nobody looking at him, though. Bound gets taken down, and because MoNsTcR gets his shield back here and a kill, this is the door kicked open for French Toast to get into SSG's base.
And that is right when the new sniper rifle is coming up here. So there has been a lot of unanswered kills. We're actually seeing a lead change now for French Toast. SSG, they need to get that sniper rifle. They need to slow this down a little bit and start getting some more control.
StelluR picks up a big kill in the green. I say big kill because they're under heavy pressure in base. These kills matter so much to deny this successful push that was once had by MoNsTcR and Crow. They're able to flush them all out, though. So phenomenal job this time around of minimizing the damage of what that push was initially. They tie this game up 32-32.
Yeah, and looks like Gilkey walked away with that new sniper rifle as well. So that sat up for a little while, and Gilkey able to get it off spawn and pick up the snipe kill on to Pznguin. Now, StelluR, he does grab himself a trade, trying to stay alive, but not going to be able to do so. Gilkey, amazing job. Drops down, finishes off the kill, and escapes with that sniper rifle once again.
Yeah, textbook. And if we can hop on board with Gilk, I think he's going to make a play here. Got a snipe kill in the kill feed, so he's already got one to his name. It's a tied game, and this is where Gilk does what Gilk does, take over with the snipe. We'll see if he gives his team a 2-0 lead against SSG, because that is the moment at hand.
Yeah, you can see Gilkey just so comfortable on this map. You can tell the amount of experience he has in Halo 3. He was a champion in Halo 3 MCC as well during some of the tournaments that came back around that time. You can see Gilkey, great flank, waits for the opportunity, recognizes this is a time I can push through with nobody looking at him in long haul, and he's trying to pick up a trade. Not able to kill Bound, though. Great teamwork by StelluR to help secure some of these kills. And now SSG back in the lead.
Questionable push from Gilkey. Felt like he had to commit to that damage and wanted to capitalize, but now they lose map control, and his rockets and overshield are coming up right now. It belongs to Space Station. It's theirs to squander, and I don't know about that push from Bound. He's able to trade at the very least, I guess, but as weapons are coming up, you want to figure out a way to stay on the map. Pznguin, not a player that can stay on the map either. He gets repulsed off from Rammyy, a phenomenal trade from Rammyy. And right now you're seeing this angle being taken advantage of from StelluR. Can he hit the shot? He doesn't get the choice. And because of it, Suppress finds himself with the overshield.
Yeah, you can see Pznguin, he does pick up a trade down there by the overshield, but overshield going over into the hands of Suppress. Now, this is a great snipe shot. Get the shield away from him. Not sure he connected on the second one, but Pznguin comes off spawn and grabs yet another kill.
This is tough. 44-42. Space Station does have the lead, but they do not have map control right now. They are trapped towards their Mauler side of the map. And I think MoNsTcR has rockets over towards green. Yes, he does. This is where it could once again get ugly. French Toast on the verge of taking a 2-0 lead. Space Station had to figure out a way to get out of this, and it's got to be on the back end of StelluR's snipe. He's got to find a way to hit a shot to release some of this pressure, to create some space. He can't do it, though, as he's continuously under pressure, stuck in the Mauler. Multiple players around him. He lands a body shot, but it's not enough. The kills continue to come through, and French Toast put the pedal to the metal for these last few kills. 47-45. Eco's weak on snipe cuts. They're getting the callouts. A trade comes in. Pznguin, he's got to help Bound get this kill on Rammyy. They can't afford any more deaths now. That's 49, but that's Gilkey with sniper still in swords. They have to be so careful not to peek at all, or else Gilkey will just rip their face. They deal with Rammyy. He was S1. 47-49. You got the kill on the player on your side of the base, but Suppress has made his way to the front tower as well. They need to get that kill. Suppress actually runs away. And with Overshield and Snipes coming up in 20 seconds, it looks like French Toast are going to opt to play for the power on the map. Space Station will have a chance here. Gilkey decides to hide in the oldest trick in the book. I call this the 08 because it only worked in 2008. You're sitting on rockets. Eventually, everyone started checking this. Will Space Station be disciplined enough to check this is a massive question if they decide to push through green.
Oh, you can see.
Oh, my God.
Gilkey, he hits the plasma pistol shot coming out of green, and that is going to be a Game 2 win. French Toast takes the lead 2-0 in the series here over SSG. This is the French Toast that upset Optic. They came to play again today. I think it kind of goes to show that maybe yesterday wasn't a fluke. These guys have insane chemistry together, and they know how to close out close games.
Yeah, let's speculate for a second. This French Toast team is a pickup team for this specific event. I asked her how much of a chance does this roster really have of taking form, and he goes, I don't really know, maybe some. And if you beat Optic and you beat SSG in an online tournament, you got to be thinking to yourself, what are we not doing teaming?
Right. This is a team that, the chemistry is looking really good. Now, we talk a little bit about, different server issues and different online play and things like that. This is a team that is notoriously known for being incredible. The old Complexity roster coming out and winning a lot of the previous open tournaments when that new roster formed never had the same success on LAN, but they were completely dominant online here for the pretty much the entirety of that roster.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there is that online carrot, and these players are extremely strong online, but there still is something to say with how you're able to compete with the best in the world in any format, right? Like if it's LAN, if it's online, like you at first have to do it at some point somewhere, and getting the job done here is a very impressive feat from French Toast. The series not over, however, Kyle. It's just 2-0. And if I know anything about SSG, I would never count them out of any series, especially this one, but there's no room for mistakes from here on out.
Yeah, now you're in a tough spot because all of that breathing room is completely gone here. So you can see how, game 1 played out. It was when all 3 rounds of oddball and all 3 games were extremely close. Pit Slayer doesn't really get much closer than that. 50-48 win could have gone either way, but you could just see incredible snipe control, really, especially from Gilk. Once again, Gilk has been the story in this game here. Some of his flanks, one of them not panning out that well through long haul, but I believe he was out of sniper ammo at that time and just kind of played his life for the trade. But he is very aware of what's going on the map and where he needs to be and win.
Yeah, I think Gilkey is one of those talents that we always refer to when we say this guy has so much individual skill. He just needs the right team around him. And we've seen what he can do when he's on fire with the right team around him. He takes over a grand finals at that point. It's just a matter of getting that structure around Gilk. Unfortunately, his life on G2 last year, it seemed pretty difficult for them to create upsets, to stay in some series that we thought that they would be more competitive in. I'm looking forward to seeing how Gilkey rebounds in season 2. I still think he's an extremely talented individual. It is about figuring out the best way to get a nice team around you in order to get the job done against some of the best teams in the world, right? At some point, he's got to be able to put a team together, and that's also part of being a professional Halo player as well, Kyle, is being able to put teams together that are going to be successful, because you can get a lot of individual talent on one team, but it doesn't always work out.
Oh, 100%. And, there's so much more than just being good at Halo in order to create a solid team and be successful at the game, right? A lot of people think, I'm going to play the game and I'm going to go into matchmaking every day for 10 hours a day and I'm going to be on a pro team. It doesn't necessarily work like that. If you're like a Frosty or a Shotzi or somebody like that, sure, everyone's going to be looking at you and wanting to pick you up. But if you're not literally the 0.01% of players, there's so many other factors that can make you benefit or help out chemistry in a team, and you need to kind of be out there trying to create a team, trying to work together and find what works for you and your squad. Absolutely.
It looks like Live Fire is going to be game 3. I believe it's going to be King of the Hill. It's already underway. StelluR's already found himself a snipe, and if I'm an SSG fan, that is the first sign of what you want to see to stay in this series. Let's see what the damage StelluR's able to do, but as we hop on board with Bound, he's got the heat wave. He's making a mess over towards Nest. He gets 2. Can he get in the hill now?
Yeah, StelluR also grabs himself a snipe. Suppress goes down. Last player alive coming off a back tower. They do spot him out immediately, and that's going to be Hill in favor of SSG. They've got Sniper, they've got Heat Wave, and they've got the new Overshield.
Everything you could ask for the start. You got a flank as well. Players no shield. Suppress does get the combo off, but it's not on the Overshield player, and somehow StelluR stays alive right there. A massive set of slays will give Space Station even more time on this first hill, and you can almost guarantee they're going to start this game off 1-0.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Here there's only one kill, and that's for Rammyy onto Pznguin here to open this game. Other than that, it's been all SSG here. Last shot in the sniper rifle by StelluR gets put to use, and 3 dead once again here for French Toast.
And they're already set up towards tower. The body disrespects StelluR. He's woken up. He's starting to get pissed off. And we'll see a pissed off StelluR take over this game. I promise you that. 5-1-0, still yet to die on a killing spree as they get the first point. They're already set up for tower, and this is a perfect play from Space Station so far throughout this game.
Yeah, this is backs against the wall, like we said, and SSG coming out to a very, very hot start. New Overshield's coming up at about 25. It's going to be super important here. Nice nade from Pznguin to push this player back here and stay alive into B. Now, they do have eyes on several of them. OS coming up in 10 seconds, so you want to see players both hold C here, but also contest Overshield.
Yeah, nice little angle here from StelluR, teaching you everything. Those sidelines are so important as he gets a stick. His first death results in a trade. 4 go down for French Toast. Overshield will be coming up momentarily. And the spawns from green from French Toast is just fine with Space Station. Will they be in a position here to go for this Overshield, however, is the question.
Yeah, you can see here, very slow game. Now, that last pistol does make a lot of noise. They might be able to spot him out. StelluR doesn't get taken out, but he does get hit by the plasma pistol. Great grenades come in, and somehow 3 down once again.
Just Suppressed that needs to get a kill, but right now look at Space Station. 6, 6, 6, and 6. Everybody getting the job done. The slay's coming through, and even better, Bounce position himself for that third hill. He is taken down by a couple of players that push, and it feels like for the moment this is French Toast's first real opportunity at a numbers advantage here in game 3. Space Station have played perfect and flawless so far throughout this game.
Yeah, they know where the last 2 players alive. One was a plat. Suppress grabs himself a double kill with a plasma grenade, though, and that is going to open up the map for them and give them some of the time they need to try to get back into this game.
They've got the setup. StelluR has the snipe again, lands the body shot as he spots Rammyy bottom mill. And that damage you really want to be able to capitalize on, but it doesn't look like Space Station has been able to hunt down Rammyy up until this point. Rammyy gets taken down, and this is the push we're looking for from Space Station to break this setup and take the 3-0 lead.
Yeah, you can see Suppress, he's still over at A, doing what he can to try to stop any time on this hill. He will get taken out. Nice shot by StelluR. No fear here from him. 3 dead. They're all coming off spawn. Numbers advantages over to SSG, but do you see French Toast? Are they going to just push hill, try to contest this, or are they going to try to play for Overshield a little here?
They're coming in from top mid. They're going to get a couple of kills here, and Bounds, the last player alive, he's trying to finish this kill off. I think he gets Gilkey, but all 4 go down for Space Station, and this is going to be 1 point going into French Toast's favor right now, as Eco's not going to be able to get there in time. He's going to give up that hill. But as this hill moves towards the Overshield spawn, Overshield comes up. And this is where French Toast could get right back into this game, Kyle, because you're able to snowball not only the point, but the hill at the same time. This is a massive opportunity. But as that opportunity comes, it goes. French Toast lose 3 players.
Yeah, 3 go down, but MoNsTcR, he had that Overshield in the hill. They aren't able to connect on the plasma pistol. I think they've used most of their grenades as well. They will clean up the kill. MoNsTcR's on a great flank, though. He ends up going down. That's 2 dead. Last 2 players from French Toast are over here towards screens. Bound goes down, and now SSG, even though they got a few kills, they aren't able to get any time and eventually make that 3 dead here. They're going to all be coming off spawn. And the thing about this hill as well, you've got MoNsTcR up top tower. This forces SSG all spawning over towards back B, and it is such a long route to get back over here to contest any players in the hill at Overshield.
StelluR somehow stays alive as 4 grenades were used to take him down. Because of that, they're going to have an opportunity to push this hill. Unfortunately, Pznguin's flank, it gets sniffed out immediately. In the meantime, Eco's won his 1v1 over towards the hill, but he's been traded out. That was a massive kill for MoNsTcR to be able to sniff out Pznguin there in order to continue tower control, but more importantly, have that angle and that level of map control for his team, now being able to anchor that side of the hill.
Yeah, and this is going to be one of the times you just have to give up the hill and start playing for the next one. This one has essentially got hardly any clock on the, or any hill time accumulated here for SSG. They are working at trading out some of these kills. It hasn't ended yet. It is never over till it's over, but this is going to be a big one to try to get back into.
An interesting situation, right? It looks so promising early on for SSG throughout this game. 2 perfect hills, transition to the third, but that fight at the third, ever since then, the French Toast squad has been able to turn this game around. They tied this game up, in fact, as the hill moves to top middle. The Slays heavily favor Space Station throughout this game, but the score is tied.
Oh,
and there goes Overshield.
Great repulse there to force the Overshield player off the map. That was also Heatwave, so that's going to put Heatwave on respawn once again. Eco, he gets into a fight, but some additional help comes in to help Gilkey secure that one. And now with players spotting, you got French Toast. They're just in great positions all over the map here to constantly double team SSG.
And how frustrating of a moment was that for Space Station? You've had a 2-0 lead, you lost it, you get the Overshield, you think you're setting up nicely for a third potential like setup in the top mid hill. You get repulsed off the map with Overshield. That's something that cannot happen, as Rammyy does fall off the map. But those kills, that squandered level of power right there, getting repulsed off the map, I mean, that's just so frustrating to deal with from a first-person perspective. So we'll see if Space Station can stay in this one. Right now, neither team gaining too much of an advantage so far on the top mid-hill. The battle for power control side of the map is what really both teams are focused on right now.
See his player with the Heatwave MoNsTcR, a phenomenal job staying alive once again. He was taking no shields, but hit his dummies and stayed alive long enough to get his shields back and several trades. That's 2 dead, make that almost 3 dead for SSG, but luckily Pznguin wins the 1v1. However, top middle hill, and this is a lot of time going over to French Toast once again, and they're going to be in SSG going to be in a bad shape here if they go down after being up 2-0 here.
And they're still in the hill. They had a 4-on-2, couldn't get the last 2 players out. MoNsTcR with the Heatwave was too formidable of an opponent. Suppressed a couple of the players back, and with that, almost score the point outright with that one setup. Great shots out of Suppress to get a trade in a 1v2 situation right there, and it's up to Bound to try and deny this point. And he's not going to have too much to say about it because there's too many players to deal with. French Toast seconds away from scoring the 3rd point. There it is. They all of a sudden have the lead and the series lead 2-0. They are on the brink of eliminating Space Station Gaming from the winner's bracket.
And you can see French Toast already in the new hill. They've got a 1 hill lead. Great shots by Suppress, picks up the kill onto Pznguin, and they are just playing this flawlessly.
Suppress starting to hit some very big shots in some of these 1v1s he's found himself in. Deletes Eco with the commander rifle off the bridge and the kill feed there. Bound gets spotted out as he tries to push. And Space Station, their numbers being pulled. They've got to break this setup. They've got to catch up in this game. They get a couple of kills, but a couple's not enough. Suppress still being a nuisance in the hill.
There's great overall teamwork. Gilkey finally gets cleaned up. Now that's going to be repulsed over to the hands of Eco. And this is what they need here to get back into this. They need to get this hill. There's a lot of time left on the clock. That's what's going in their favor right now. But that doesn't mean that they have a lot of room for error, because halfway this hill is final hill for French Toast. It's already halfway captured.
I need that snipe, and you know StelluR wants it, but Gilkey, he's found his way towards that snipe. Got away with it as well. He's trying to push this hill, and the question is Gilkey going to hit an incredible shot on this player in the hill, or is he going to give up that snipe and give it right to the hands of Space Station? It looks like they're still battling in the back green area. He hits the first snipe, hits the second, and Gil starting to take over, finds Eco, can't close the distance for the melee, runs out of ammo, and Eco gets the biggest kill of the match yet to take down Gilkey in that situation, but the damage isn't done. The setup is broken, and this hill nearly tied at these points, but two completely different outcomes on the outside of whoever scores this point. This could end the series. This could take us to an overtime situation tied 3-3.
Just absolutely disgusting plays by Gilkey. We talked about him in the first two matches, and he's picking up right where he left off here in game number 3. I'm not sure if the first one was a no-scope, but that second one definitely was for a double kill. It's absolutely gross.
Good teamwork there out of Space Station. They're able to weather the storm of the push. The overshield's deleted by the plasma pistol. MoNsTcR gets taken down. 4 dead for French Toast. And we're looking at a tied game as the hill rotates to tower here in a moment. Space Station maybe not set up, but StelluR breaking the setup of French Toast, kicking open the door with a nice headshot there.
You can see the sniper in the hands trying to fight MoNsTcR. MoNsTcR does get taken weak, but great nades. Ends up taking out StelluR and keeping them alive here. Grabbing a little bit of C time, but nobody's top tower to help defend this hill. Bound needs some reinforcements ASAP.
Yeah, he's got the hill controlled right now. They're able to maybe take down Suppress top mid, but once again, Suppress wins a 1v1. He maybe shouldn't have. Takes down Eco. 3 go down for French Toast. So Space Station capitalize on that space. They get the kills they need. And more importantly, they're significantly racking up some time in this hill. Over halfway. French Toast has got to go off respawn quickly if they want to stay in this game and in this series.
Yeah, they're looking at their last and final push here right now. You got 4 members from SSG all playing defense. A trade comes in. Doesn't look like anyone from French Toast is necessarily in position, and sure enough, they're not. And just like that, epically close games, each and every one along the way. All 3 rounds in game number 1 oddball, including some near overtime moments. 50-48 game 2 that really could have gone either way again. And then a 4-3 final hill game number 3. So we got at least game number 4 in store here. Can SSG answer back, send this to a game 5, or is French Toast the real deal here? They beat Optic. Can they now beat SSG and move on in the bracket?
Well, I'll ask the question, Kyle. You're the SSG's coach, obviously, not currently for the event, but in the long term. Did you see enough out of the boys there towards the end that gave you promise that still believe you're going to win this series? Are you optimistic, or do you feel like you're still an underdog being down 2-1 right now?
I mean, definitely highly optimistic for these guys. I mean, the great thing about this squad is, and I was kind of touching base on it a little bit yesterday, is they really don't have anything to prove, right? This is a team that has always been in the grand finals for every Infinite event. And even in the last season or the first year of HCS, they had a few shortcomings in the online tournaments, losing to the likes of G1 and a few other kind of shortcomings when it came to the online play. But when it comes to LAN, when it comes time to show up, this team is always the real deal here. So by no means are they out of it yet. They can easily bounce back. But this is one of the teams in particular. You know, some teams are different on LAN, right? Some teams are worse on LAN. Some teams are better on LAN. This is a team that is leaps and bounds better on LAN.
I would agree. But we're not going to play LAN today, unfortunately. It's an online tournament, and these guys still care. They're still competitive. They still want to win every event they play in online, on LAN, no matter if they're better or worse on the structure or whatnot. So they got some work to do. You're still down 2-1 in the series. It is going to be CTF on Aquarius, and I may say so myself. I believe this SSG team is one of the best, if not the best, Aquarius CTF team in the world. I'd say Optics up there with them for now, and right now, this is the game type you probably want to see if you're an SSG fan going in to a game 4 with a must-win mentality. Yeah,
this is definitely a solid game type for SSG here. Aquarius CTF, they pulled off miracle comebacks in the past before, including ones against myself on previous rosters before.
All right.
They lost to, or excuse me, they got outslayed by Rebellion yesterday on this game type, if I'm not mistaken, but still managed to win it. So it just goes to show their objective efficiency.
Yeah, they know how to capitalize on the kills in order to turn them into flag caps. Not a lot of teams know that, or are able to perform that efficiently enough to stay in some games. Right now, it does look like French Toast is going to be on their back feet, trying to control their base, but Eco Smith's in front. There's a player pushing across the bridge and bound. and a couple of kills going their way means this flag's gonna get pulled.
You can see Pznguin does take out Suppress top middle. That's 2 down now. The flag, what is an awkward falling kind of there from Bridge, but luckily they're fast enough to keep it moving here before he gets taken out.
A nice run here with a couple dead, almost guarantees this flag to go in. Space Station will take a 1-0 lead here in game 4. On the verge of trying to push this to an actual game 5. Space Station start game 4 off on the perfect foot. They get a cap in the first minute and a half, and they look to be aggressive once again.
There you go. Bound grabs himself another kill, kind of waiting for these shot grenades to come up. Sees 2 players from blue doing his best to try to stay alive, but Gilkey with some great grenades will end up taking down Bound here.
Right now, if you're French Toast, you got to figure out a way to slow the game down. You got to figure out a way to get a couple of kills. Right now, SSG starting to ride on the momentum, and that's a scary thought from a team that thought that they were on the verge of 3-0ing this squad. Remember, they were up 3-2 in game 3 to try and close the door on this series. They left the door open, and we'll see if SSG have something to say about extending this series even further. They do have the 1-0 lead for now.
We got a 2v2 scenario here, although that flag will get returned. Suppress using those shot grenades extremely well. And now also French Toast with the camo. Great shots by Rammyy. Absolutely melts StelluR, but grabs the flag, tries running it, and gets taken out. So that's going to be camo off the map here as well.
And Suppress gets a big kill in the enemy base. That's going to stagger some of the pressure the Space Station would have had to potentially stop this flag from going in. It's just Pznguin by himself, and Pznguin pays for that with his life. A phenomenal job by MoNsTcR to cap the flag, but more importantly, get that double afterwards to release any opportunity of a counter cap Space Station may have wanted to have.
Yeah, so we do have numbers advantage once again over here to SSG as they're trying to push up on the map, but there's just so much great map movement from French Toast, constantly maneuvering around, keeping out of danger, but getting lots of damage down here on the players.
Well, how often do we see that, right? After you cap a flag, if the other team's desperating to try and kill you and they don't get the kill, so often do we see map control continue to go in the hands of the team that just scored the flag because you almost desperated your positioning and didn't focus on getting map control in that time. Because of it, we're still seeing the onslaught from French Toast right now. It's a phenomenal defensive stand by Space Station. They get the 2 kills they need on the back of Pznguin's grenade there, and they release that map control and that pressure once again, but that could have turned into a double cap situation very quickly for French Toast if they didn't get those kills.
Oh, 100% here. Now, Pznguin, he grabs himself a kill. He's also got the new shock grenades and thrust in his hand. So this is going to be a big opportunity to lock down top center, help out his teammates, try to avoid some of these shots. Gets taken out by Gilkey. Gilkey, he is on one today. Just absolutely running through everyone.
And what a big kill that was, because Gilkey was the last player alive. And if you go 4 down against SSG and they know exactly where you're spawning up, it's going to be a very difficult time for you to try and defend your flag at that moment, especially Pznguin with those dynamo grenades. So Gilkey with that flank, getting that kill, relieves a little bit of the pressure. Unfortunately, since then, the pressure's continued on. French Toast has not been able to get the kills they needed to release some of it as well. And with these kills, the flag on the move, 2 still go down. And you got to think that this flag needs to be run, but unfortunately, somewhere along the way, Eco got taken down, and because this flag's delayed, it gives French Toast an opportunity to potentially stop it.
Yeah, but this is also a fantastic run coming out. Player grabs the thrust as he's running the flag, uses it to stay alive, and quickly moves his flag all the way across the map for the second cap.
Ooh. He missed the slide. Missed the angle just momentarily. They do get the kill, but because you missed that slide, another player is forced to desperate for it, and now all of a sudden you give up a counter cap opportunity, something that should not have happened if the flag was just scored correctly in the first time. Multiple players have to give their life to get that one punched in, and all of a sudden it's negated immediately by the counter cap from MoNsTcR. He's going to be bringing it in, got to dodge their nades, and unfortunately he doesn't.
Oh,
somehow the flag goes backwards because of the thrust, and with that choke from MoNsTcR, Space Station will have a counter cap opportunity if they can get this return. They have already had the flag on the move.
That reminds me of when you're trying to cap the flag on like midship back in Halo 2 or something, and you jump to cap it, and you die, and it like falls into the lift, goes underneath your base, and now you're just in a horrible position.
This flag hasn't been capped yet either. Here comes StelluR, punches it in, but the flag carrier is going down. Once again, gives a counter cap opportunity. Unfortunately, FrenchToast not able to capitalize on that first counter cap opportunity, so they find themselves now down 3-1. They do have the flag on the move, but they got a lot more work to do if they want to stay away from a game 5.
Yeah, you can see nice grenades from StelluR comes in. He grabs himself a double. It's a 2v2 situation once again, but that is Gilkey with the heat wave, and we know how dangerous he's been all day, or even yesterday as well. Finally gets taken out by Pznguin. Eco and Bound grab themselves a kill. They're looking to both take out MoNsTcR once again. So still really back and forth, and still anybody's game. A lot of time left on the clock here, and only a 1-cap situation.
Yeah, StelluR and Pznguin really leading the way for SSG right now. 18 kills in the hands of StelluR. Pznguin right behind him with 15. And they have been such a problem for FrenchToast to deal with. MoNsTcR does have 16 of his own, but just not enough right now as his flag gets pulled. He can't get the kill. The corner gets turned, and you know Bound's going to hit the slide, going to make sure that this flag is effectively being moved across the map in such a short amount of time. You got to stop this one. You'd have to think if you were FrenchToast. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like anybody's there, and there's no overextension. The flag gets put in, and now 1 cap away, or 5 minutes away now, Space Station is from a game 5.
Yeah, 3 dead once again, and they're in the enemy team's base. They're all going to be trapped, probably over towards P side and Fridge as they come off of spawn. It's going to be in a tough spot to try to stop this one. And although we were tied a moment ago, SSG, like we talked about, some of their objective efficiency, especially here on Aquarius, is one of the best in the game.
Bound's going to punch this one in. Game 5 underway shortly, but Space Station have done it. They were down 2-0 in the series. They now tie it up, and we're gonna have 50 kills to decide the winner of this match. And if Space Station can continue to ride this momentum, they can get out of the storm that they've caused themselves here early on Saturday.
Yeah, if SSG comes out and takes this game, that'll be, I think, the first reverse sweep that we've seen of the tournament as well. So that would be quite the task, and especially considering how close games 1 and 2 were. That is the first game that wasn't really that close. Every other game could have gone either way. Even the last one that SSG won to send it to game 4 was a 4-3 victory in the King of the Hill. And then if you count the oddball game and the 50-48 Team Slayer Empyrean, this is just a neck and neck battle here. But if momentum dictates and the score, kind of the increase in score for game number 4 that SSG won, it does bode well for them for game 5. But if we know anything about Slayers, is that a lot of times it just comes down to a coin toss, and it could be anybody's game. So by no means is this series over.
Yeah, the players on FrenchToast have got to regain confidence, right? The same level of confidence you were playing in game 1 and 2, you need to be able to showcase that here in game 5, because this is now them receiving that, like, that check as far as you're still having to close the door on this series, because when you're up 2-0, even 3-2 in game 3, you're thinking that this series is over. You're thinking, like, all we have to do is close this, like, game out, and then SSG come back, they tie that game up, they actually clutch up the tower setup in game 3, and because of that, you get an opportunity to really blow the door open on game 4 and, like, get the blowout game 4 that we haven't seen throughout this series. So now all of a sudden SSG is riding with all the confidence in the world, saying we're warmed up, they thought they had us, like, this is our game 5. And FrenchToast is like, this series should have been over long before we got to this point. And all of a sudden those nerves probably start to kick in, so they're going to need to do a good job here to rebound for game 5 if they want any chance to stay in this.
Oh, 100%. This is going to be I mean, but the good news is that even though the nerves might be there, it's once again that nothing to lose scenario for FrenchToast, right? So these guys will, I'd say it's like 99% chance they're not on the same team or like create this squad after this event. I know some of the players themselves have already got other opportunities available to them that they're probably going to capitalize on. Really excited to see the rest of the team announcements come out for the other pros in the scene that aren't, you know, with their full squads here in today's tournament. But like we said, it's game number 5. All the marbles right here. Whoever advances, it is a double elimination bracket though, so that is good news for no matter who wins this series. This is not over till it's over. And a couple of these guys have, especially in SSG scenario, are known for some of those legendary lower bracket runs.
Yeah, they're known for losing early in winners bracket and somehow making it all the way to the grand finals, which is why I wasn't really too surprised when we saw them lose game 1, even game 2. I was like, oh, here we go. It's the same SSG story we've seen since like Halo 5 days, when Splice would lose early in a tournament, and then all of a sudden, by the time we get to Sunday grand finals, we're like, how did anyone manage to beat these guys? That's this team in a nutshell. It seems like they've woken up a little bit early this time around, though. They've turned this series around. They've got it to go the distance, and game 5 is where you got to get your money's worth out of your superstars. And if I'm French Toast, we're not a real team, yes, but we still have an opportunity to really create an upset, and like individuals are shining on this team in certain moments. I'm expecting Gilkey to continue those moments of shining to keep his team an opportunity at a win in game 5.
Yeah, I think Gilkey has been the leader for this squad, like we talked about in those first few series. Besides his incredible individual plays that he's had in order to actually like win them games, especially in that Streets Oddball and even Pit Slayer, he is somebody that has been known as more of the IGL on the team, somebody with an incredible amount of experience. I've actually known Gilkey since he was like 12 years old, right? I knew Gilkey when he was literally like a baby. So to see him come this far, to see him get his first tournament win, you know, a few years ago in like the AGL days, to see him still competing at an extremely high level here in Halo 5, it's also, you know, definitely a huge Gilkey fanboy.
Yeah, I think everybody's a Gilk fan if you get the opportunity to meet him and know his story, and like how he had to compete for a very long time to climb the ladder, and he's really never been given a chance. When he was able to win, it was with a roster that you really didn't know if they had the capability of winning, but they proved everybody wrong at that event, right? They all showed up, they all on fire, and led by Gilk himself with the performance he was putting on. Nobody was going to take that grand finals away from them that day, that's for sure. So it's been something special to watch, and that's why season 1 of HCS was such an upsetting like viewpoint from Gilk's perspective. And being a Gilk fan, it's like you want to see him have that one tournament in the year where he's on fire, and he's proven all the doubters wrong, and he's showing you the skill that he has, because he really does have an incredible amount of individual skill. But unfortunately, there was really no sign of that throughout season 1. So it's good to see that, hey, it's 2023, new year, new Gilk, and he started it off very well from an individual perspective. Let's see what kind of a team he gets on, and if he can really push himself further into some brackets this year, because if Gilk does that and gets the opportunity, he typically creates special moments for the fans to remember with the highlight reel skill he has.
Absolutely here. And Wes, it looks like we're about ready to get into the last and final game of round number 1, Space Station Gaming versus French Toast here. It's going to be on Streets Slayer. And if that Streets Oddball game is any indication of just how intense some of these matches might be, this one could also be going the distance.
All right, game 5. Let's get hype. It's early on Saturday. It's the championship Saturday, though. First round of bracket play gives us everything we could ask for as viewers, as commentators, spectators of the event, and the competitors get their best showing when game 5 happens. This is where big players step up. They make big plays. The Rockets are the name of the game at the start. Everyone's going to be focused on getting their team that level of power. We'll see how this one plays out, but on Streets Oddball, it was often Eco Smith that was popping off.
Yeah, we can see the game has now gone underway. Pznguin grabs himself the first kill. Back and forth action. A couple go down here now for French Toast. Looks like they're able to secure the 3rd kill, trying to stay alive. Shoots the rocket, but the rocket's a miss. They have to kill his player before he uses that rocket, and luckily for Eco, he does stay alive. Gilkey not able to connect with that rocket, but that could have gone definitely a lot better for SSG.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be a really big opportunity for SSG. The second Bound got those rockets, but he decides to go through the drop wall, thrust forward. Because of it, he misses the rocket because the angle was so difficult, and he pays for it with his life. A good job by French Toast to trade out kills at a disadvantageous position right there. And since then, they've been able to get the slays they need to create a 9-5 lead.
Yeah, You can see now that is going to be Soccer Rifle going in the hands of SSG. They do spot out Gilkey as he's pushing up towards B-Rail, but this is French Toast just gaining control of the map and working at kind of choking out SSG over here in C. Need to have some major Stalker Rifle connections here in order to get players weak enough so they can, you know, try to push out of the base and maintain some control.
10-5, everything going right for French Toast so far, and here comes the push. The Bulldog makes a noise. MoNsTcR gets the first pick. The entry frag is through, and right now look at Space Station in compromised position. MoNsTcR gets another kill. The thrust back killing spree for the boys in red right now. MoNsTcR 6-1-1 to kick this game 5 off, giving French Toast a 14-5 lead.
Yeah, you can see that. Just incredible plays there. He's got the Bulldog as well, being able to put down some major damage and completely clear out C. 15-5, a huge lead. And on Streets, this is one of those ones that can hurt really bad here. New rockets are getting ready to spawn, but it is still a 3v3, but no additional weapons in the hands of SSG. They're trying to fight with essentially nothing here. But it looks like both rockets do get used, so it could have been a lot worse for SSG, but they do manage to get those rockets traded out, even though they weren't able to secure them themselves.
Yeah, but at some point, you're going to need that power in your own hands to make up the deficit that you've allowed so far in this game. You got to find a way to get the power weapons. 19-6, I believe. The UI in yellow is so difficult to read. But the control still in French Toast's hands. Make it 20. Good lord, they are on fire right now. French Toast using their map control and not slowing down.
Yeah, just the best start you could possibly hope for French Toast here. Now, this is going to be a big obstacle to overcome here if SSG is going to close out this series and advance through winner's bracket. They're grabbing a few kills, but they are going to need to do that a lot more here if they're going to get back into this.
Yeah, you need control of the map first and foremost, and unfortunately, you haven't been able to get this player in red room you forgot about. StelluR and Gilkey comes out, takes down StelluR. Eco now in a very difficult position because of that situation. Kills being traded back and forth, but trades are going to benefit French Toast as they've already crossed the 27 kill mark.
Yeah, 27 to, I believe that is 16? 18? You're right, Wes. I also cannot read that yellow UI here, but nonetheless, it is starting to cut into the lead a little bit here. Not quite as down as much as they were before. Next set of rockets. They are not going to be able to allow a lot of these power weapons to go over to French Toast's hands, but unfortunately for them, I do believe they still have some power weapons, including that Stalker Rifle.
Oh my god. Fried like chicken. Suppressed with the triple, hits the heat wave flank, and it was a perfect flank to get the kills. 33-19, I believe, maybe 20. Either way, it's a blowout right now, and it looks like Space Station continue to be on their back heels this entire game so far.
Yeah, it looks like they're down by 13 here. Make that 12 as they grab a kill. 3 were dead for French Toast, and they're going to get their first set of rockets. However, Rammyy with that Stalker Rifle, he's going to be able to just do so much damage to try to prevent these pushes. What you really need to see is essentially like a 4v0 trade here if SSG has any hope of getting back into this game.
Yeah, you got to slow it down, and when you get a kill, you cannot afford to trade some of these kills out. Eco gets away for now, and that was a big kill onto Rammyy to try and get the entry frag, but you're still down 11. You're being hunted. You don't get... The teamwork comes through from Space Station right there. I for sure thought Gilkey was getting that kill. He doesn't, and that was a good win from Space Station, but still so much more work to do because look at this, French Toast, 37 acquired kills right now, and the pressure, they just aren't letting up. And it's no response from Space Station to deny.
Yeah, you can see Space Station has just been trapped in C so long here, and every time they are, it's been amazing rotations from French Toast to keep them guessing and staying alive, and then once again securing these power weapons. It's almost an insurmountable comeback here on a map like Streets, being at this much of a disadvantage here. This could be the flank of the century, though, or something they definitely need to have happen. But sure enough, Pznguin gets spotted out rather quickly there and not able to capitalize on that map positioning.
Yeah, the fact that MoNsTcR came up the stairs and checked behind him right there, that was
200 IQ
a massive find. Yeah, 200.
Maybe even 500.
Yes, that's too many IQ points right there to be able to clear red. Because they clear red, they get the kill on the Pznguin, and although Pznguin's able to respawn and get a double kill, it's just not enough. Continued gunfights going in the favor of French Toast. Gilkey gets one right there on the bound, and with it, 2 kills away from creating the upset French Toast are.
You can see just, yeah, one more kill to go. This is all she wrote. French Toast, they had a miracle run yesterday, and it looks like they're not looking at stopping anytime soon. They get away with rockets. MoNsTcR grabs himself another kill. He started the game off, what, like 9-1, just an incredible opening start. And then SSG just kind of stuck on their back foot for the rest of the game. What you can see on the comebacks on like an Empyrean, it's much different when you always know where you can force spawns as opposed to where they can spawn anywhere on the map and constantly kind of be spawning up behind you to finish off kills. So first series of the day did not disappoint. Epically close first 3 games, followed by a back and forth game 4 and 5 here between SSG and French Toast.